Hey guys, TomBoy601, and it is the end of the year, and you know what that means. Time for a top 10 games list sort of thing, but this time we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to do the 5 surprise and delight games, the games that got me surprised, that delighted me this year, and the 5 disappointments, because I feel like there's been a lot of disappointments this year in the gaming space. So, we're going to go switch off, we're going to go number 5 positive, number 5 negative, number 5 and go all the way up, and we'll just talk them out like that. So first off, number 5 as a surprise game is actually Call of Duty World War II. If you remember Call of Duty last year, Infinite Warfare came out, and its trailer had negative 3 million dislikes of 3 million. It had 3 million dislikes on YouTube, which is the most disliked trailer video ever on YouTube. Got that title, which is incredible. Like that is something that that tells you that the Call of Duty series needed a revitalization, and that's exactly what Call of Duty World War II was. I think they saw the excitement for Modern Warfare Remastered, and they realized we should probably go to World War II. And that boots on the ground combat was actually a lot of fun in COD World War II. The campaign, while not the greatest campaign, COD campaigns don't tend to be like these amazing watermark things. They are usually pretty good, and that's what this was. It was a decent campaign in World War II, which we haven't visited in God knows how many years, and it was fucking gorgeous. And that's what I wanted from COD World War II. On top of that, the multiplayer's been great. I've been sinking dozens and dozens of hours into it. So overall, going from not playing a Call of Duty multiplayer in forever to investing several hours and actually caring about it this year, good on ya, Activision, good on ya. Now it's time to swing on over to the other side for my number 5 in disappointment. Now my number 5 in most disappointing game was actually Halo Wars 2. Yeah, remember that game came out this year to not much fanfare and kind of disappointment. I am someone who loved the original Halo Wars. I bought the $80 Steelbook limited edition that came with the early access to the new Forge map in Halo 3. That is my lineage with Halo Wars. I loved that first game, and as a result, I did the same thing this year. I bought that $80 version that had the season pass. But here's the thing, the season pass wasn't what was advertised. It wasn't what we were expecting. We ended up actually kind of getting shafted. They came out with additional story content. First off, they advertised the $80 version as like the complete edition, the season pass edition that would include basically all of the DLC. And then a couple of months later, they came out and were like, oh, this new story DLC, you know, the one you probably would like to get back into the single player. Yeah, no, not included. Not included at all. Which kind of felt bad and like cheap and unfair on a major level. Like, are you really gonna do this to us, Microsoft? Like, we're the people who invested in your very expensive game, or we're the people who invested in one of your big franchises, and you just kind of want to screw us over like that. Beyond that, the campaign wasn't amazing. Like, it wasn't what the old Halo Wars was, and that was kind of a little disappointing. Number 4 for surprise is going to go to Resident Evil 7. I can't tell you how happy I was with this game. The previous Resident Evils, I loved. Resident Evil 4 was my first one. I played Resident Evil 4, I loved it. I played Resident Evil 5. 6, they lost me. They went too far into the action thing. And for 7 to bring it back to its roots, I was super happy with it. Like, it was something I loved and I adored, and it was so much fun. I ended up playing it over on the PlayStation 4 because I have PSVR, and that was terrifying. That was a great use of that game. I felt like I got my use out of my VR unit because I finally played a full retail game on a PSVR, on a VR system. And it made me appreciate that system. It made me appreciate it just so much. So good on you, Resident Evil 7. Thank you for bringing the franchise back to its roots. Thank you for making it a fun and exciting and a vibrant game. And I hope I can't wait to see what's next from you guys. Number 4 on my disappointments is actually Yooka-Laylee. Now, Yooka-Laylee was a Kickstarter game by some people who used to make the old Banjo-Kazooie games, and when that came out, when that Kickstarter came out, I was super excited. I love Banjo-Kazooie, and to have basically a new Banjo that's not quite Banjo, but totally is a ripoff of Banjo, I was completely on board for. And then it came out, and they didn't really advance the genre at all. It was very much, it felt like the original Banjo-Kazooie as far as like level design and mechanics. And while I enjoyed the collectathon aspects of it, it just got stale and boring and dull and dreary far too quickly. And the worst part about it was, now when I played it, I was playing it over on the Switch, which means I played it after Super Mario Odyssey, and there's not much that can hold a torch to Super Mario Odyssey when it comes to platformers. So it was kind of a letdown for me, if I'm honest. But hey, at least it came out, and I'm happy that, you know, like, character platformers are on their way back right now, and I'm happy for that, at least. Number 3 on my surprise and delight list is kind of the exact opposite story of Yooka-Laylee, where Yooka-Laylee was old devs doing what they used to know. Sonic Mania, which is my number 3, was fans of the series making their own game and then getting a dream job of being able to make their own Sonic game, and it being freaking fantastic. So my history with Sonic is, my first console was a Sega Game Gear, and I had Sonic 2 on that, and I played that game for hours. I never beat it. I pretty much only played like the first couple levels because I was a terrible small child playing Sonic, but it was great. And then to come to this, to have what is essentially a bigger version of the Sega Game Gear than Nintendo Switch, and to be playing Sonic again, there was a wave of nostalgia that hit me that it was just very joyful, and it just made me super happy to be playing a game like I used to. Like, it reminded me of my childhood to go back and play Sonic Mania, and I can happily report I actually beat a Sonic game. So thank you. yes. But like, it's fantastic. Like, I'm legitimately smitten with Sonic Mania. It was a callback to the old Sonic games. And that was the thing, is like, for the last couple of years, Sonic's been utter shite. Like, it's been terrible. It's not made much sense, and they kind of forgot what made Sonic great. And with this, they came back and they brought it, and I'm super happy with it. Number 3 on my disappointments is Destiny 2. Yeah, Destiny 2. While they made their campaign great again, there's just something missing from this Destiny that the other Destiny had, that original Destiny had. And I think what it is it feels like we took 2 steps forward and 1 step back with this release. I played Destiny 2, or I played the original Destiny pretty much from day 1 and played it right on through till nearly the end. So I was someone who would get on every week, and I was someone who did the raids, and with Destiny 2, I just haven't felt the need. I haven't felt the urge, the desire. Something about just the mechanics in this game feel off, and they feel different, and not in a good way. So I don't know what it is. I think it might be the progression system or something in there, but it's not driving me the way the old Destiny used to, which is kind of a letdown, because original Destiny D1 was fantastic and amazing, and this one, a little bit of a disappointment, which is why it's on this list. Number 2 is PUBG. Yes, I know. We, on the console, have just gotten PUBG, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't make a list with at least PUBG on it, because it's been a phenomena this year. It has grown from nothing to being one of the most played games ever on Steam. And I really didn't get it. Like, I saw a lot of people streaming it, and I would like hop into streams every once in a while, and I didn't really get it. And then it came out on console, I bought it, and I played a couple of games, and I immediately understood what was up with this. Like, I immediately got why so many people love them. You know, I'm not going to lie, my second attempt, I got a chicken dinner. So that might be positively influencing it for myself, but still, I loved PUBG. And it rightfully deserves a surprise. It's like it came out of nowhere. Like it was a little indie game and it has blown completely up. So yeah, number 2. Now on the other side of the spectrum, my disappointment number 2, my number 2 biggest disappointment for this year, Forza 7. So if you don't know, Forza occupies a weird space in my life. It is my game that I use to relax. If I'm going through a rough day, I will happily sit down with a nice alcoholic drink and I will go on a time trial, or I'll just go do some really long race where I can just focus in and completely forget the whole world. And that's the purpose Forza serves for me. And this Forza just doesn't feel that great. The whole, first off, the progression system, the ability to earn more credits based on cards that are in loot boxes, I can't state how much I do not like it. Previously in other Forzas, you had the ability to turn off certain assists like traction control and stability control and ABS brakes and all of these like very minute details, and you could turn them on and off and that would give you extra credits, and that's how you basically changed your difficulty to match how you wanted it to be. And it progressed you as a driver because you're like, you know what? I've mastered having stability control off. Now I'm going to try traction control off. And once you've mastered that, then you do that. And you slowly work your way up to being an amazing racing driver. And that was how you felt good about that game. And they kind of removed that. And it's kind of left me feeling empty and not wanting to go back and play that game. On top of that, the DLC cars just haven't been that great. Usually the car packs are pretty great, and you get like there's 1 or 2 cars you're like, yeah, I love that car. That's the reason you're buying the pack. But this year they've been introducing a ton of like off-roading vehicles, which is great for Forza Horizon 3, but not for motorsport. Like those cars don't belong on a racetrack. Stop bringing monster trucks or stadium supercar. Like stop bringing trucks that don't belong in Forza to a Forza Motorsport game. Bring those over for Horizon, Microsoft. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. Now, rounding off my biggest surprise and delight games for 2017 is Mario plus Rabbids. So, I don't know if you remember the vitriol and the hatred for Mario plus Rabbids when it got leaked, about how stupid this game was, about how it's going to be the worst thing in the world, how it's going to ruin Mario, it's going to ruin, well, you can't really ruin the Rabbids, they're pretty fucking terrible, but you get the idea, it's going to be a terrible thing. And surprise, surprise, what do we have here? It's a fantastic game. As soon as it was revealed at E3, I switched my tune about it. I was like, oh my goodness, it's XCOM with Mario. Yeah, I'm gonna want to play that game. And I loved it. My emotional and my want and my need and my desires for that game went from utter hatred to complete buying in, complete wanting it, and just really enjoying the game that it came out to be. And I think Ubisoft did a great job with it. The fact that Miyamoto came out on stage at E3 and he kind of like gave his little blessing to it and was like, this is a great Mario game, come play with Mario. And that man crying, who the game designer crying because like Miyamoto was saying these great things about his game. Like, this game became something that it shouldn't be. It was definitely something, and I think it's a canary in the coal mine for Nintendo to let us know that they are a changing company. They understand the modern world that they're in now, and they understand that they might need to make some changes, and they're kind of happy to do so right now, which is really nice. So, last but not least, the number one biggest disappointment of a game this year, I'm going to say Battlefront 2. Yeah, no big surprise here. Now, I'm not going to say Battlefront 2 for probably the reasons you think I'm going to say Battlefront 2. You're probably thinking pay-to-win, loot boxes, all that. I don't really care about that. I found that with just playing on my own, I was having a good enough time. I wasn't feeling like there's pay-to-win there. I wasn't feeling the need to buy loot boxes when they were available. Like, there was stuff there, and I did not feel the need to actually invest in it. So I think those concerns got blown out of the water, and I kind of feel bad for EA on that one. What I don't feel bad for EA, though, is the crappy campaign they gave us. The lie of a campaign. I was in the audience at Star Wars Celebration when they announced the campaign, when they said it was going to be a campaign focusing on the Empire. I was so happy and I was so excited. I was like, yes, we're finally going to get this campaign that focuses on the Empire. And what do? 3 missions in, it's gone. What? Come on, EA. Come on. Like, you promised us a campaign from the Empire side spanning from Galactic Civil War to the First Order. Like, that was the pitch that we got in the audience there. And what did we get? We did not get that. We got 3 missions in, and then our main character changes sides to the Rebellion. What the hell? What the hell, EA? Like, I'm so disappointed with that campaign. I was so looking forward to playing as an Empire, to destroying some Rebel scum. And there they go. They done gone ruined it. Now, I will say, with this most recent pack, this Resurrection DLC, it looks like they may be basically bringing out more single-player content throughout the year. If they are doing this, if they're going to, like, basically release an hour of campaign mode every month or every 2 months, I might get back on board, because the how they've left it off now, with this most recent DLC, it seems like it could actually lead to a really cool story. I just don't know if they're going to capitalize on it. So right now, it's a giant disappointment. So yeah, guys, that's my list. Those are my surprise and delights, and those are my biggest disappointments. What about you guys? What were your big surprise and delight games you didn't see coming, things that you really enjoyed this season, this year? And what about your disappointments? Let me know down in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your year, have a great holiday season, and also a great rest of your day. See ya.